We used to think about climbing plants, plants that climb up trees or whatever, like ivy, and parasitize the structure, but are rooted in the ground. But there's another group of plants, a different strategy, called epiphytes. And epiphytes are plants that grow on another plant and take advantage of the structure. So many are mosses, some are bromeliads, some like this, some are ferns, like this bird's nest fern, this asplenium, there's another fine individual a bit higher up. And then you have orchids. Orchids tend to grow high up, so often can be quite hard to see. Here's a branch that dropped down. And they have a number of problems because they don't root in the ground. One problem is water shortage. And the strategy they have is they just take advantage of the mist and the water that runs down the outside of the plant, and then they try to retain it. They can retain it in various vessels, so the bird's nest ferns can save water in between the leaves. Orchids have a strategy called a velamen, so the roots will have dead cells, a couple of layers of dead cells, and when they're dry they will look white, but when they're wet they will then fill with water and basically act as a sort of sponge. Another problem is shortage of nutrients. Again, you haven't got roots in the ground, so you can't extract nutrients from the soil. And here what they do is they rely on nutrients falling down, leaf litter, animals, all sorts of things, and falling down and then rotting and then taking advantage of those nutrients. So this is a strategy that works very well in damp environments. So in tropical rainforests, it's often dripping in epiphytes. The temperate rainforests, likewise, there's lots of mosses and ferns in abundance on the trees in temperate rainforests. So what can the plants do about this? So sometimes it can be a problem because there's just this abundance of growth which can reduce the photosynthetic capacity way down the plant. So some trees have scales that just drop off. The strategy of dropping mature leaves when they're covered in algae and they can no longer photosynthesize very well is probably also related to overcoming epiphytes. But epiphytes are a very important part of the ecosystem. So there's a study on Borneo showing the biomass of arthropods, of insects, etc., in one bird's nest fern was the same as the biomass in the whole tree. So that they're very rich, or they can be very rich. Some of these epiphytes have specialized frogs and a whole range of species that live in them. So epiphytes are an important part of tropical forests and temperate rainforests.